Hi guys, Patrick here, and I'm here with another tour review and our last, at least for now, um, character in our. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, sorry for the curse there, but James is over here and he's drawing. Oh, what is wrong right now? Anyway, so this is our last, at least for now, character in our Smash Brothers little playlist thing that we're doing right now. And it is the SH Figure Arts Pokemon Charizard. Now, this figure I love because Charizard is and will always will be my favorite Pokemon. So this figure is a near perfect representation of this big orange boy. So you know how this works. We're gonna get into sculpt, paint, articulation. Wait, no. Damn it! So we're going over sculpt, paint, accessories, and articulation. So first, going over his details. James, shut up. Yep, shut up. So going over the head sculpt, and it is really nice. But I wish his ears were a little bit more pointed up. But I think mine are a little bit warped. But yeah, we'll deal with it. His eyes are super clean. If you can't tell by this camera, his nostrils are faded nicely as well. And the inside of the mouth, it's very plain with just a single derpy tongue and some teeth, which they're a little sloppy, but I'll let it slide. For his wings, they're seen to, oh god, they're seen to be just normal orange paint with some nice blue in the inside. A little flopping action. For his arms, we have a nice slender sculpt with his 3 fingers, and he has some nice nails, which some on mine are a little effed because one hand, you know, this is perfectly fine, but another one has like yellow nails. That looks like an infection. His tummy is painted nicely as well, and it extends all the way down to his tail, which looks really nice. Has a nice like creamy color. And his toenails seem to be okay. Not really that much slop. Better than the teeth and the nails in that respect. And that's about it. And here's the back, if you're wondering. And here's the flame. Now, the flame is my favorite part of this because it's a nice translucent plastic with a yellow center and a red outside. And you can see it shines beautifully on this camera because there's light outside. Yeah. So now let's go over his accessories, and then we'll go over articulation. You know how this works. So what he comes with, first off, you will get a stand, but not just any stand, a Pokeball stand, which looks really nice. It's very disc-shaped, Pokeball shaped. You can put it anywhere you want because it just looks the same. And he also comes with a stand arm, which has a hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint. And comes with this piece, which is supposed to contain a little cutout of a Earth, which looks like one of Charizard's moves. But for some reason in mine, it didn't come with it. I don't know why. I can't tell if the previous seller lost it or I don't know. But one complaint I do have about the stand is that it's really loose. Same with the stand. It's a little wobbly there. So I tend not to use this stand very much, even though it has a nice circular base. Now let's get into the meat of the accessories, which he has some fire effects. So this one goes in his mouth. Looks really nice with the same translucency. Don't think that's a word. That is at the tip of the tail, which is nice because I love that. It looks really nice, and it has 2 grooves. It has some grooves in the center of where the mouth will clamp down. Here, let me show you really quick. So open his mouth. So open his mouth, and then we just put that in. Now, there's a specific point where his teeth are supposed to line up. So it kind of goes in like that. On mine, it's a bit loose. You just gotta be patient. Oh, damn it. Almost had it. This is gonna be the entire video, just trying to put the damn thing in. It's supposed to be this way, I think. There we go. It's supposed to look something like that. And it looks really nice. Next parts. These big boys are for the tips of his wings. And again, same sort of translucent plastic with the red and the yellow. So how these work is that you take the figure, and these little spikes on the tip of his wings, you want to plug those into. Like that. But this will make the wings very top-heavy and very loose. I think if you use some super glue on the joints, I think that will work pretty well, but I haven't tried that yet. So just put this on real quick. Oh, I think that's wrong one, actually. So this one is supposed to be over here. Don't be an idiot like me and try to do this on camera. So, there we go. And there we go. So now he has the fire effects on the tips of his wings. And again, those look gorgeous. And last two fire effects you will get is these. These are the parts that are designed to go on the more of the near the base of his wings. Again, same translucent plastic, looks really nice. So you just want to place them in like this, because they just have like little clips on them on the other side. Just want to put those in. There's a specific point on the wings where it's going to be the tightest fit. So maybe around like the base area. This one's a little loose. Oh, it's because this one doesn't have the stand thing on it. So if you see, I thought it put the damn thing in. It's supposed to have like this sort of thing inside. This one came loose, so it might be in the drawer somewhere. But you get the idea. They're supposed to clip on like this. That. Now let's get into our final segment of the video, which is the articulation. So this guy is very similar to an SH Monster Arts. Very similar to an SH Monster Arts. This tail end is pretty loose. So put that back in really quick. Back in there. Easily goes on easily. It's just a ball. It's just a bow. Sure. So let's get into the articulation. This guy is very similar to SH Monster Arts, but because his design is a little bit more limited. So we have a sort of swivel hinge joint at the neck, or the head. It's a little hard to move. So it can move side to side, and then he can, of course, look up and down. Not that much, though. And, of course, he can open his mouth. A nice little touch is that the tongue is actually movable like this. It easily comes off again because it's just connected by a little square peg. Back in there. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Screw it. So, he has like a little ball joint thing in there. It's like a stick attached to a ball joint, so you can move that anywhere you want. If your peg's not loose, that's good for you. So then we have a ball joint here and a ball joint here, which allows him to move down quite a decent amount and look up that far, of course, because you want to get him into a flying pose. If you can do that with a lot of stance. So we have ball joints of the wings, so double ball joint style wings at the base, and then from there it's just a hinge joint. On mine, one day this joint's pretty fragile, so I had to super glue that back on. But that wing is still functional. Arms. So they're basically swivel hinges, so like this, and then you can move in and out. Bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, and the swivel at the wrist if it's not so tight. So we'll do this with this one. So kind of like that. Then we have ball joints to the legs, which can not really move that far up because of the tail flap. Then we have a ball joint at the knee and a ball joint at the foot, so you can get a nice pivot. Now the tail. Woo! So we have a ball joint here, 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 and a ball joint here, which allows it to hinge up that straight, and of course, sort of, that's the closest you can get it to bend. It's really long as well. Really nice. But what makes the tail not really that fun to pose is because of these sort of gap things to hide the joints. Like with Monster Arts, they have like, hold on 1 second, there we go. So what makes the tail not really that fun to pose is that if you notice on the tail, it has these like gaps. These are like little sleeves that are supposed to prevent from hiding the joints and gappage. The thing is, they kind of makes the posability limited, and they keep sliding all over the place. So it does its purpose. So if there's like a gap, you can just close in one of them, like this. If you get this gap, you can just close that up like that. But it kind of hinders the articulation a bit, which is sad. So the posability on this guy is pretty good, especially for a plump little boy like him. So yeah. And so would I recommend this figure if you can find him for a decent price? Yeah, it's just that mine, it has a little bit of loose joints and a little mess ups in the paint. But other than that, he's really nice. He's a really nice figure. And I love him so much. So that is my review of the SH Figuarts Charizard, or Pokemon Charizard figure. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all our stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!